Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Leaked audio shocks fans. Meri and Janelle expose Robyn's lies in private conversation gone public. In a twist that sent shockwaves through the Sister Wives fanbase and left even longtime viewers stunned, a leaked audio recording featuring Meri Brown and Janelle Brown has surfaced. One that exposes what appears to be years of deception, manipulation, and carefully crafted falsehoods by Robyn Brown. The clip, allegedly recorded during a private off-camera conversation shortly after the filming of the season 19 tell-all, is already being dubbed the most explosive scandal in Sister Wives history. For years, fans have speculated that Robyn was quietly pulling strings behind the scenes, weaponizing her relationship with Cody to push out the other wives while pretending to be the helpless victim. But now, with Meri and Janelle caught candidly airing out decades of frustration, confusion, and betrayal, Robyn's carefully protected image may be crumbling for good. The audio, which was anonymously posted online in full, begins mid-conversation, but the tone is unmistakable. These are two women who have reached their breaking point. Meri's voice, usually measured and soft-spoken, carries a razor-sharp clarity. "She lied to all of us," she says. About the finances. About what Cody was saying. About her role in all of it. She's not innocent. She's never been innocent. Janelle, equally raw, adds, "She played dumb when we'd confront her. But she knew. She always knew. And she used it. Every single time Cody came down on us, it was after she had a talk with him. Funny how that works." The two go on to recount specific incidents, many of which fans had long suspected but were never confirmed on the show. They describe meetings where decisions were made about family gatherings, purchases, and parenting, meetings that Robyn and Cody attended without the other wives. Janelle recalls one in particular, where she was told the family couldn't afford to help her with a down payment on a home. And yet a month later, Robyn gets a $900,000 house, she scoffs. "But I'm in an RV with my kids. That's not a coincidence." Meri backs her up, referencing the same time period. "Robyn told me she didn't know what was going on with the finances, that she was just going with what Cody said. But she was listed on the business documents. Her name was right there. She wasn't some passive wife. She was managing the money." The leak, which appears to be over 45 minutes long, covers a variety of topics. Cody's favoritism, Robyn's role in alienating the older kids, how the family trust was restructured after Robyn's marriage, and even chilling allegations that Robyn manipulated emotional conversations to control Cody's decision-making. Janelle mentions how Robyn would cry on cue or get overwhelmed every time she was asked to take accountability. And Cody would rush to her side like clockwork. Janelle says, "It was a performance, and he always fell for it." But perhaps the most damning moment comes near the end of the audio, when Meri says flat out, "I stayed in this family thinking I was the problem. Robyn let me believe that. She told me Cody was just going through something, that it wasn't about me. She knew he'd already written me off, but she wanted me to hang around to keep up appearances, to make it look like plural marriage was still intact." It's a jaw-dropping admission, and one that sheds new light on years of confusing, often painful dynamics that viewers only ever saw through heavily edited episodes. Fans have long questioned why Meri, in particular, stayed so long in what was clearly an emotionally barren situation. Now, with this recording, it seems the answer was manipulation. Plain and simple. Within hours of the leak, social media erupted. Twitter trended with hashtags like #RobynExposed, #JusticeForMeri, and #Janelle knew all along. Reddit forums that had been tracking the family's implosion for years now had what they considered irrefutable proof. "We always knew Robyn wasn't as innocent as she claimed," one user wrote. "But this confirms she's been playing chess while the others were trying to survive checkers." Even media outlets picked up the story quickly. Tabloids and legitimate entertainment news sources alike began publishing timelines, rewatch guides, and breakdowns of the leaked content. Podcasts dedicated to the show dedicated emergency episodes to the recording, dissecting each minute like it was a courtroom testimony. One particularly viral clip features a side-by-side comparison of Robyn on the show insisting she never got involved in financial decisions, juxtaposed with Janelle and Meri recounting multiple examples of Robyn handling paperwork, speaking to accountants, and even advising Cody on business tax strategies. But what truly elevates this from gossip to game changer is the implication. Robyn wasn't just passively benefiting from Cody's favoritism. She was actively engineering it. For years, fans had wondered if she was merely Cody's favorite or his silent partner in reshaping the family into something more palatable for them alone. With this audio, the second option suddenly feels undeniable. Cody Brown, as of yet, has made no public statement. But sources close to the show say he was furious about the leak, and that filming plans for a potential season 20 have now been thrown into chaos. Cody and Robyn thought they could control the narrative, a production insider shared. But this leak changes everything. The audience won't buy what they're selling anymore. As for Meri and Janelle, both women have remained silent publicly since the recording was released, likely on the advice of legal counsel. But their words in the audio say more than any Instagram post or confessional could. They are done protecting the illusion. They are done letting Robyn hide behind emotional manipulation and crocodile tears. They are finally naming the real reason the Brown family fell apart, and it's not just Cody's ego or the strains of plural marriage. It's Robyn's lies. The implications of the leak are massive. Will Robyn respond? Will she deny the allegations? Attempt damage control? Try to spin it all as a misunderstanding or an out-of-context recording? Perhaps. But the problem is, Meri and Janelle's words don't sound like gossip. They sound like truth. Truth with the weight of years behind it. Truth that doesn't need editing or music cues. Truth that has been building in silence, behind cameras, behind smiles, behind passive-aggressive family dinners. And now it's out. The real question is, can sister wives survive this level of exposure? Or has the curtain finally been pulled back for good? Because with this leaked audio, the story is no longer just about heartbreak. It's about betrayal. It's about the erosion of trust. It's about how one woman used vulnerability as a weapon and created an empire on the ruins of 3 other women's sacrifices. And now the world knows it. Every raw, painful second. This isn't just the fall of Robyn's mask. This is the true beginning of her reckoning. Why sister wives Meri Brown says she doesn't want to be Robyn Brown, and what that says about the fallout of the Brown family. In a moment of startling honesty that has struck a deep chord with longtime Sister Wives viewers, Meri Brown, once the quiet, compliant, endlessly patient first wife of Cody Brown, has spoken out with a declaration that's as bold as it is revealing. I don't want to be Robyn Brown. For fans who have followed the show for over a decade, this statement is more than just a clapback. It's a thunderous rejection of the woman who many believe helped dismantle the very foundation of the Brown family's polygamous dream. And coming from Meri, whose life has been defined by years of longing, exclusion, and emotional isolation, this revelation isn't just about distancing herself from Robyn. It's about reclaiming her power, her voice, and finally naming what many fans already believe. Robyn Brown is not the woman she pretends to be. To understand the weight of Meri's words, you have to understand the history. Meri was the one who started it all. She was Cody's first wife, his first love, the woman who laid the groundwork for what would become a sprawling, complex family unit. She was the one who legally married him, who brought in new wives, who trusted that plural marriage would bring abundance, unity, and sisterhood. But over the years, Meri's place in the family slowly eroded, not just due to her own struggles, but because of how Cody and, increasingly, Robyn began to shift the dynamics behind closed doors. When Robyn entered the family in 2010, she was met with open arms. The wives welcomed her cautiously, but respectfully. Cody, however, welcomed her like a man reborn, infatuated, obsessed, and disturbingly focused. What was supposed to be the addition of a 4th wife turned into a pivot point. Robyn wasn't just another wife. She was the wife. And it showed. Quickly. Meri, once a wife and partner, was downgraded, first emotionally, then legally. The decision to divorce Cody so he could marry Robyn for legal reasons, to adopt her children, was presented on the show as a necessary sacrifice for the family. But fans, and eventually Meri herself, began to see it for what it was, the beginning of the end of her marriage. So when Meri now says, "I don't want to be Robyn Brown," it's not about envy. It's not about bitterness. It's about liberation. Because for Meri, being Robyn Brown would mean being complicit in the favoritism. It would mean looking the other way while Cody alienated his children, dismissed his other wives, and destroyed the trust that once held their family together. It would mean benefiting while others suffered. And Meri has had enough. In her recent interviews and social media posts, Meri has been slowly chipping away at the narrative that has painted her as the sad, loyal, lonely wife. She's reframing her story, no longer as a victim, but as a survivor. A woman who gave everything and finally decided that enough was enough. And it's in this redefinition of self that she draws the line between herself and Robyn. "I don't want to be Robyn Brown," she says, "because I've seen what that costs." Robyn, despite her carefully manicured image as the sweet, spiritual, always emotional peacemaker, has become a divisive figure in the sister wives universe. To her defenders, she's just a woman caught in the storm, trying to love Cody while staying neutral. To her critics, she's the architect of the family's downfall. The wife who cried victim while rising to the top. The woman who weaponized fragility and turned Cody's heart and finances into her own private empire. Meri, who once gave Robyn the benefit of the doubt, is no longer under that spell. She's seen the favoritism. She's watched as Cody created one set of rules for Robyn and another for everyone else. She's felt the sting of being treated like a legal inconvenience while Robyn enjoyed romantic trips, joint decision-making, and the lion's share of emotional connection. And she's stayed quiet for years, out of respect, out of fear, out of love. Not anymore. Meri's decision to speak out doesn't just reclaim her truth. It challenges the myth that Robyn has always been the outsider, the misunderstood member of the Brown family. If Robyn truly wanted unity, why didn't she stand up for the other wives? Why didn't she confront Cody when he dismissed Christine's pain or shut down Janelle's efforts to build independence? Why did she allow Meri to cling to a marriage that, as we now know, had been dead for years? Because, as Meri now seems to understand, Robyn liked being the favorite, and she wasn't willing to give it up for the good of the sisterhood. So when Meri says she doesn't want to be Robyn, what she's really saying is this. She doesn't want to be the wife who stays silent while others suffer. She doesn't want to be the woman who rises while others fall. She doesn't want to be the victim who benefits from everyone else's pain. And most importantly, she doesn't want Cody. Not anymore. This statement is Meri's emancipation. It's the end of the years of self-blame, the misguided loyalty, the quiet suffering. It's the closing of a chapter where she was told, again and again, that the problem was her. When in reality, the problem was a family structure built on conditional love and disguised inequality. In saying she doesn't want to be Robyn, Meri has drawn a line in the sand not just between herself and her former sister wife, but between herself and the woman she used to be. The woman who waited for Cody to see her. The woman who clung to a marriage long after it stopped being mutual. The woman who allowed herself to be emotionally breadcrumbed while Robyn received the feast. That Meri is gone. And what rises in her place is someone fierce, clear-eyed, and no longer afraid to say what everyone else is thinking. Because Robyn may still be in her $900,000 home. She may still be legally married to Cody. She may still cry on cue and say, "I just wanted us to all get along." But Meri knows now, getting along doesn't mean being silent. It doesn't mean enabling. And it sure doesn't mean surrendering your dignity to keep the peace. Meri doesn't want to be Robyn Brown. She wants to be free. And in finally drawing that distinction, she has taken the first real step in rewriting her story, not as the first wife of a failed polygamous marriage, but as a woman who walked away from lies, reclaimed her voice, and said, "No more. No more pretending. No more waiting. No more Robyn. Just Meri." And for millions of Sister Wives fans who have watched her journey from devoted partner to discarded afterthought, this declaration isn't just empowering, it's revolutionary. Because if Meri Brown, the most loyal wife of them all, can finally say she doesn't want the life Robyn has, then maybe, just maybe, the rest of us can stop mistaking sacrifice for love and start recognizing when it's time to let go of what no longer serves us. Just like she did. Meri's candid confession exposes the truth about Robyn, and the fallout is just beginning. Meri Brown's simple yet seismic declaration, "I don't want to be Robyn Brown," has become more than a personal boundary. It has triggered a massive cultural moment among Sister Wives fans, forcing long-standing viewers and new onlookers alike to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about the emotional architecture of the Brown family. And if part one of her statement was Meri reclaiming her identity, part two is her exposing the rot beneath Robyn's curated persona. Meri has always been something of an enigma. Early seasons painted her as the strong, confident first wife who gracefully navigated the complexity of plural marriage. But as time went on, fans began to see the cracks. Meri was left out of decisions, visibly marginalized, and eventually pushed to the emotional sidelines. What was originally chalked up to misunderstandings or marital struggles has now been recontextualized by Meri's bombshell admission. Robyn had a role in it all, and not a passive one. When Meri says she doesn't want to be Robyn, she isn't rejecting the person. She's rejecting the power dynamics. She's rejecting the lies, the manipulation, and the performative victimhood that Robyn has perfected for over a decade. And now, fans are connecting the dots faster than ever before. The mask slips. Robyn has always leaned into a specific brand of performance. Wide-eyed innocence, frequent tears, and statements like, "I just wanted everyone to get along." But what Meri's confession implies, and what many now believe, is that this performance masked a calculated game of positioning. Robyn didn't just become the favorite wife. She made moves to ensure she'd always stay the favorite. And how did she do that? By inserting herself into private conversations between Kody and the other wives. By giving Kody just enough emotional support to keep him dependent. By playing the martyr while watching Christine, Janelle, and Meri emotionally deteriorate. Meri revealed in that same leaked conversation and recent interviews that Robyn weaponized empathy, appearing sweet and compassionate on the surface, while using those same traits to extract influence behind the scenes. And worst of all, she did it while playing dumb. Meri said it best. She's not clueless. She's careful. The financial red flags. One of the most damning aspects Meri touches on directly and indirectly is the financial inequality that widened under Robyn's influence. For years, fans have questioned how Robyn could afford a nearly $1 million home while other wives struggled with basics. Janelle lived in an RV. Christine rented modest homes in Utah. Meri was running her own businesses to stay afloat. Meri now seems to confirm what fans have long suspected. Robyn was making decisions with Kody behind everyone's backs. According to sources close to the family, Meri hinted in the leaked audio that Robyn was privately involved in family finances, pushing for purchases that benefited her children and her household, even while the rest of the family was told there wasn't enough money to go around. She got the legal marriage, the house, the income, and the loyalty, Meri allegedly said. And the rest of us? We were just window dressing. That stings. Robyn's silence is deafening. As this wave of revelation washes over the Sister Wives fandom, Robyn's silence grows more suspicious. She hasn't publicly responded to Meri's confession. No Instagram statement. No interviews. No denial. Just carefully curated photos of family dinners with Kody or vague captions about healing. But fans aren't buying it. Reddit forums are ablaze with threads titled, "Robyn's House of Cards is falling," and "Meri's finally free." TikTokers are dissecting old episodes, finding hidden microexpressions that now feel like red flags in retrospect. In one viral clip, a viewer replays the moment Robyn cried over not feeling accepted, only to then show a montage of her smiling each time another wife left. The conclusion? Robyn knew what she was doing. And now, thanks to Meri's bravery, the world knows it too. Janelle joins the chorus. Janelle, who has long been regarded as the practical, no-nonsense wife, has also started to break her silence. While she hasn't been as direct as Meri, her recent interviews strongly support Meri's claims. In one statement, she said, "There were definitely moments when things were said behind our backs, and then we were expected to act like everything was normal. It wasn't fair.